So Sony has just pulled back the curtain on its first new smartphones of 2019, the Xperia 10 and the Xperia 10 Plus, a pair of mid-range mobiles boasting Sony's new extended 21:9 display. So how do these two stack up for the specs, the features, the camera and all of those other sexy bits? Well, here is our full early Xperia 10 versus Xperia 10 Plus comparison. And for more on these gorgeous Xperias, don't forget to poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell. We'll be bringing you fresh content very shortly. Cheers! Now, definitely no prizes awarded for guessing that the Plus model is the bigger of these two new Xperias. The standard Xperia 10 is an already pretty sizable 6-incher, while the Xperia 10 Plus pushes that up to a mighty 6.5 inches. Both phones are pleasingly slender, however, thanks to that stretched finish and the near non-existent bezels along those left and right edges. That means that even the Plus model is crazy comfortable to clutch. You get a side-mounted fingerprint sensor on both the 10 and the 10 Plus as well, just like in the good old Sony Mobile days. Although this doesn't double as a power button any longer, instead it's actually sandwiched between a physical power button and those volume controls. And around back, both Sony phones sport a metallic style finish. This matte surfacing definitely makes a change from those glossy handsets, and you can get both phones in navy, black or silver. But while the Xperia 10 also offers up a rose gold option, the Xperia 10 Plus changes that pinky colour up for a straight up gold finish instead. As for durability, neither new Sony phone sports an IP dust and water resistance rating, although those displays are at least coated in Gorilla Glass 5. Now, there's not much difference between the 10 and the 10 Plus when it comes to the screen tech, besides the obvious size difference. They're both IPS panels with a full HD plus resolution. On top brightness, they'll do the job outdoors, where you have the same range of visual modes to suit your personal tastes. We still love that super vivid mode though for really punchy in-your-face colours. Now, 21:9 aspect ratio is perfectly suited to enjoying Hollywood blockbusters on the move, as that's the original format that most of them are shot in. You'll be able to stream 69% of films on Netflix in this ratio for a screen-filling experience. And apparently we can expect 21:9 support for the likes of Fortnite and other popular games soon too. And yes, there is no nipple notch here to intrude on your viewing pleasures on either device, although you do get a proper top bezel as a result, which also holds all of that important antenna tech. Don't worry about stretching all the way up that massive bloody display either, because Sony's one-handed mode is back in action on both of these phones, thank God. As for audio, the Xperia 10 and the 10 Plus both come packing Sony's LDAC tech for high-quality Bluetooth streaming, as well as the digital sound enhancement engine to make your old compressed tracks sound better. There's support for high-res audio, and you even have a 3.5mm headphone jack for those wired phones. Superb. Things are changed up between these handsets though when it comes to performance. The standard Xperia 10 rocks Qualcomm's Snapdragon 630 chipset backed by 3GB of RAM, while the Plus model upgrades this to a Snapdragon 636 with 4GB of RAM. All the same, that standard model seems to cope just fine with Android Pie and the full range of apps, and you can split screen to make the most of that elongated display. But sadly, neither of these Xperia phones supports Sony's Remote Play app to stream your PS4 gaming sessions straight to your smartphone. Boo. The battery tech is predictably different too. The Xperia 10 packs in a 2870 mAh cell, while the Plus model boosts this up to a nice neat even 3000 mAh effort. Not a huge increase by any means, and we're expecting these phones to have a very similar battery life. You get the usual power saving modes, and both Sonys boast that Qnovo tech, which helps to regulate charging and prevent long-term damage when your phones are left plugged in all night long. There's no difference between these phones when it comes to storage. You get 64GB on board, and a micro SD memory card can be slapped in to provide a further 512GB. And then last but definitely not least is the camera hardware. These are the first mid-range Xperias to come with a dual lens rear camera, although the specs are different. While the original Xperia 10 rocks a 13MP primary lens backed by a simple 5MP depth sensor, the Plus version has a 12MP primary lens and a secondary 8MP telephoto lens, which adds a 2x optical zoom to your shots. You can quickly activate that zoom mode with a tap of this icon here in the Xperia 10 Plus's camera app, while the standard phone just offers that pinch to digitally zoom functionality. But besides that, these handsets offer very similar shooting experiences. You can capture 21:9 video footage at 4K resolution if you want to pass yourself off as some sort of Billy Big Bollocks director on a seriously tight budget. Sony's steady shot stabilization is available on both phones at a lesser resolution, and you got the standard bonus modes on offer as well, including some proper bokeh action thanks to the dual lens setup. And while there's no super slow motion support, you can shoot standard slow-mo at up to 120 frames per second. And then around the front of both phones you also have an 8MP selfie shooter for those Instagram pics. So right there is our full early Xperia 10 versus Xperia 10 Plus comparison. Stay tuned for an in-depth camera comparison to see how the difference in hardware really affects the photo and video quality, and lots more closer looks at both of those handsets as well, coming right at you real soon. So don't forget to subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely week, people. Cheers, love you.